Welcome to the SLUSH podcast, the only place on the internet where we cover toddler toys to movie reviews and all of the spoilers in between.
This is Cody, as everybody already knows. I'm Matt. I just work here. Today we're talking about Dark Star, 1974, John Carpenter's first movie? Question mark, because it was a student film that was only like 45 minutes long, and then they added more and made it into a feature later on, after a couple of years.
See, if you're describing his catalog, it's probably the first one in the catalog.
Yeah, I think so. And Dan O'Bannon, man, he acts in it. But first of all, more importantly, how have you been, Cody? What's up?
Busy, man. I've been all over the place. I was on the East Coast. Then I was like cruising around the East Coast. I'm back in Toronto working on a show that I can't talk about. But, there's shows.
When I saw Dark Star, whenever I saw pictures from it, it always reminded me of like regular people working, but they're at a crazy job. Like these group of guys have been out there working like what would be just a normal job in the future, where they're just zapping planets away, right? Totally mundane. But they're stuck together for basically decades because of the time dilation between Earth.
But it doesn't only feel like 3 years for them.
Yeah. No, it's literally only been 3 years, but it feels like decades for them mentally.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't know, it's kind of weird to think about. That's what I personally like. Before I knew that Quentin Tarantino was like, this is a masterpiece, and before I even knew it was a John Carpenter movie, I remember thinking like that movie looks like kind of a cool, like retro sci-fi. Like I wonder what that is, and I never saw it. But I always saw pictures from it.
And I was watching it, and like, I'm not gonna lie, I had a hard time like keeping my attention. But I was listening to another podcast. Shout out to Johnny Has the Keys, I think it was called. And they do like genre films and films in general. And one guy has like almost a Matthew McConaughey accent. But they were saying that like in their assumption, or like some of the scenes were just too long. And I think that
I mean, it's the first film, right? Like, it's totally immature back then. But I think we got like Alien out of that, which is pretty crazy. Like that is because of Dark Star. Pretty sure that Dan O'Bannon worked on Star Wars after Dark Star as well. Like
there is like a thing, like the piece that the buddy surfs down to the planet on, which is like jumping away to the end of the movie.
Yeah,
it's cool. Like the toilet, like the piece of debris says like toilet tank section, and then the ship number or whatever. But that's like a direct reference to George Lucas's student film.
Yeah, he went to school with them. They made this because of George Lucas. They saw THX 1138 and they were like, we should make a movie because George Lucas did this because he made the THX 1138 Earthbound short film, and then he made the movie THX 1138 from that. So they were like directly inspired. I only know this, literally, the only reason. It just so happens that I was reading this. I actually bought it and was reading it. It's crazy, man. Like everything's in here. It's nuts.
That's cool.
It's like it's like an alien Bible. And that's the whole reason I watched Dark Star, is because they talked about them writing. That's how the book opens. Because Dan O'Bannon was working on Dune and he lost his job, and the movie never got made. This is going to be a huge movie. Pink Floyd were going to do the music for it, and he was so depressed
for Dune.
Yeah,
dude, and the movie they got instead. Holy shit! We need to do an episode on that thing.
I don't know. I'm sure I would really like Dune, but I find it so hard to get into. There's so many other things,
Dude, that first Dune movie is a fever dream.
Like the one that David Lynch did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie is fucking strange. It's cool though. Picard is in it.
Dude, Sting's in it.
I know. I mean, that's the thing. It's so cool that I'm like, it gets, it's cool because it's, But
what there's three distinct parts of Dark Star. There's like what is probably the original. See, this is where I didn't do this movie due diligence because I should have went and watched the original cut, like the original student version. But I assume the original student version is just them essentially dropping the bomb and blowing up the planet.
I know all the alien stuff is new,
Yeah,
and
like
the elevator, that was all
dude,
new.
it's so funny because like I didn't do any research before I watched the movie, but I have definitely seen that beach ball alien in places before, and I was
Really,
like,
you think so?
I've definitely seen people being like the worst movie, like top 10 worst movie monsters, and that beach ball definitely has made those lists.
Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons I knew about this movie is because they're like, "Have you seen that alien?" And they showed it, and you're like thinking to yourself, "How can they put that in the movie?" Because it looks terrible, you know? Has like this red spots all over it. But you know who puppeteered it? It was the guy who plays Michael Myers in the first Halloween movie, who went
That's
on to
so
become a
wild.
director after that. But when the alien's like tapping his toes and shit, I don't know. You can definitely, I think, see Halloween beginning in that movie, like some of the shots and the vibe of it. Like it switches gears to like kind of bleak, you know. I mean, it is a bleak movie, but like when Pinback is in the elevator shaft and he's just like, you're like, how did this happen? Like we were laughing a minute ago about something ridiculous, and now the beach ball monster is gonna kill one of the characters. It's crazy.
Well,
Uh,
I was never sure if it was supposed to be like a serious, like if I was supposed to laugh or I was supposed to be like, ooh, spooky, you know, like.
I looked at the poster first, and it said it was a comedy, and I was like, okay, well, I guess that this is just gonna be a funny movie. I didn't know what to expect from it. It looks like, I mean, it looks like a student film from back then. You know, it's
Well, it was funny
crazy.
because I think the moment I was like, oh, this isn't serious is like when he's stuck in the elevator, and then like it has to like detonate to get him out, and then he walks out in like all Looney Tunes style, and I was like, okay, like
Yeah,
this is the vibe.
yeah, that is the vibe, I guess. Yeah. It's a weird mess of movies. It's so many different genres, I think, in there.
Because even the beach
Um,
ball monster could have worked if like it ate a couple of his fingers or something. You know what I mean? Like if there was a little bit of
easy.
gore.
You know what? They've made some edits of that so that the movie is basically G. Like all the nudie mags are all blurred out in one of the versions. And I think it's just crazy because the guy who made Halloween and the guy who like wrote Alien, like the first draft that we read, he's an actor in this movie and he did the special effects and John Carpenter did the music. It's fucking crazy. Like that's a lot of cool shit.
I think I could be being led astray again, but I'm pretty sure Carpenter did the voiceover for one of the guys too. Like that was one of
I
the
don't
things I
know.
read online that one of the guys had a really thick accent, and so Carpenter is actually credited as doing his voice.
That's hilarious. That's awesome. Dude, complete 180 into I think the most fucked up part of the movie because I have to talk about it. When he goes down to the freezer to ask the Powell about
Yeah, dude.
advice, you're like, what's happening? And they open up the freezer and he's like cryogenically like a ghost and he's using the radio. I was like, I'm never gonna forget this. Like this is one of the strangest things I've ever seen in a movie because A, it's funny and weird, and you're like, okay, this is strange. But two, if you really think about it, it's so fucking creepy at the same time. Like it's so creepy that he can listen to like a ghost through the radio like that because he's a little
Well,
bit left of his mind.
well, yeah, and it's funny because they were like, "Oh, the cap." At one point, they're like, "The captain's dead," and then they're like, "Oh, let's go down and talk to the captain." And I loved it. Like the first thing he asked, he's like, "How are the Dodgers doing?" They gave
Yeah,
me big like Martian
yeah,
vibes. You know what I mean?
that was so funny. I forgot about that. Yeah,
And then it's fun, like the ship blows up, and you have that weird shot of like him in a block of ice tumbling through
yeah,
space.
dude. In
So
the I listened.
nonsensical.
The audiobook describes him floating through space as like he could go on for X amount of time because if he's far enough away from stars, it should be pretty cold, right?
Dude, you want so sometimes we try to throw like a little bit of space news or news at the beginning of one of these podcasts, or at least I do because I'm a ding dong. Um,
Oh,
but I was saving a little piece of news for mid podcast. So you remember like there's the special effects in this are like so like it's such a weird thing to look. It's like people using like old timey medical techniques, and we look back and scoff at them. And it's like this was like the best they could do. But they had that comet, the Phoenix comet, and they were talking about how it changed colors. Are you familiar with 31 Atlas?
No.
So 31 Atlas is that object that's traveling to Earth that people are speculating might be some kind of alien craft.
Okay.
It's a near, like, I don't think it's, people are worried about colliding with Earth, but it's definitely expected to be a near Earth object. So it's catching a lot of interest.
How big is it?
You think I'm that prepared?
Oh, I thought it would just say in like the headline or something. Usually they're like 3.81 kilometer.
No, because the headline now is that it is changing color.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't see if it says anything here real quick about it's 18 million miles away.
18 million miles. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of speculation. Like in the, the scared people camp, like people were like, it's an alien. There's no way that shape could be naturally made. And I'm sure people are speculating now that the color change are thrusters to deaccelerate for Earth before it deploys troops or something. When really it could just
so
be,
cool. That would be awesome.
But it is like the article I just opened up here to see if it had the size, is Earth Sky and Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like it is being rapidly reported that it is changing color, and it changed from a dusty like red brown to I think it said green. And there's all kinds of reasons that could happen. You know what I mean? Like proximity. But I just thought it's funny that article popped up on my thing today, right before we were about to talk to the show about the mystical comet. Because I'm so terrible with names. It wasn't Pinback in the observation deck, was it? He was the one that has the whole thing about like looking into the thing, right?
Yeah, he's probably the most spiritual of the bunch, I would say. Who do you think you would be on the Dark Star? Side note. Who would you be?
I'm so terrible with the names. The guy, was it Pinback that like just pulled out a gun at one point and started shooting at the play?
Spoiler. He was the guy who had like the mustache and the blonde hair.
Like I feel like maybe that guy.
Really?
I don't think I'd be so down with like feeding the alien though. Like they were pretty casual about that. Like I feel like I would want to be.
Yeah. Well, I would have said that like I probably would have eventually became like Talby. I would much rather just sit there and look at space than be inside a ship for that long, what feels like decades. So
apparently they shot a scene of that for Alien. Where like Ripley went up and talked to Dallas. Like Dallas was supposed to be in like an observation deck. Cool. And Ripley was gonna be like, oh, like all the shit's happening. And he's just like, yeah, man. Like, right on.
Dude,
but apparently,
huh?
Yeah. Go.
Go on. No, you go.
Apparently they were all like stoner surfers, so
like the characters in the movie?
No, like the cast, like because the one guy has like dialogue about like surfing in Miami.
Yes. Yeah. He's the guy who surfs at the end through the atmosphere, right?
I think that's one of the things that like made it relatable because they weren't real actors. Like they didn't play space people. They played stoner surfers in space.
Yeah. Even the voice of the Dark Star was apparently the cinematographer's secretary or something.
Her name's like Cookie something.
Crazy. It's crazy. I listened to the audiobook. It was like almost 8 hours, I think, on YouTube. And it was awesome. The girl who read it, she actually almost cried at the end of the novel. It was crazy because the guy who wrote, the adaptations, I think his name's Alan Dean Foster. He wrote the Alien novel version, and he also did the Dark Star version. And he like really over describes everything. So every goofy ass thing in the movie he breaks it out so eloquently and like fills in the gap for you, and you're like, okay, like even when Pinback goes in to feed the alien, and they have those white aliens that are trapped. Do you remember those? Like the shapes? There's like a whole section in like the audiobook or novel, I guess, where they just talk about how they captured those aliens and like how they detain them with these special mirrors like in their cell, and how they're like dumb and they don't really know they're trapped, but they're attracted to Pinback. It's fucking weird, dude. Like I almost feel like I saw the movie, and then from listening to the audiobook, I got every in between thought of what was supposed to be going on. So like I feel like my experience has been totally skewed, like completely, you know? It's weird. It's my rant.
No, it's good. I didn't like it's interesting to hear all that. It's funny because, not to try to like name drop current things, but like that, it has big Alien Earth vibes.
Alien Earth. I guess they're in space. Yeah,
But like they like the Utani ship went out to like collect aliens.
I know. It's weird that I don't know how I feel about that show. I feel like it's a really cool science fiction show, but as an alien thing, I'm like, I don't really know if my brain's accepting this, you know? I don't know
No,
why.
dude, I said that if you ripped Xenomorphs out of that movie, like it would be a great movie or a great TV show.
Yeah, totally. I agree. It's a really cool concept. The aliens or the souls and the synthetics. It's bizarre. It's creepy.
But it's interesting. Do you think? I guess we know the computers, the computer on the ship, and the computers in the bomb. We only see bombs 19 and 20. I
Yeah.
guess we know they're sentient, right? Like it's very. What's the guy that wrote um, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Oh shit. Oh my, it's right here actually somewhere. It's I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. I've seen this a
I
million times.
Dude, I'm so terrible with names. I want to say Arthur C. Clarke, but I know that's not right.
I feel like it's Arthur something though.
Yeah, definitely
Yes.
not Arthur
Oh
C.
my
Clarke.
God, we were so far off. Like, that is bad. Just knock my cabinets over. Tear a light down.
Honestly, like this movie, like it's funny because we talk about like all this like hard sci-fi, like this spooky, like all the things that spun out of this, even like Halloween, Alien,
Yeah.
but like really this movie's much closer to like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
It definitely is. And this is pre-Galaxy, right? Like this is way before that, isn't it? When is
Yeah,
it?
I don't know. When did Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? I gotta open here.
Maybe it is the 70s.
I feel like the book's old.
Maybe the book's from the 60s? I have no idea.
Um, but I definitely feel like they're heavy. It's funny because I think they're heavily influenced. First edition cover, 1979.
There we go. See, Dark Star was right after 2001. It was from a long time ago. Like
Yeah,
their light speed effect was awesome. I loved it in the movie. Fuck, that
yeah,
looked
and
good.
they say that directly inspired like George Lucas for the Millennium Falcon, and that's been used ever since.
We could do that effect. Like it's so easy, and it's all in camera. Fuck, it looks so good.
Holy fuck! Every time I drive home to Nova Scotia for Christmas, but I live that effect.
Dear God, yeah.
You're
I
gonna
get
hit
that.
snow somewhere.
Yeah, I remember driving through there on 102, Highway 102. It's not fun. Point is, which character are you again? You're Broiler? Boiler? Is that what you're saying?
I think
You have
so.
a
I
guy
don't
in a
really guess.
mustache? Who would I think you would be? I think you would get like Talby eventually. You'd be like pretty fascinated with the cosmos. I'm pretty sure you would be.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like a bit more of a problem solver, Talby, and like maybe Pinback, because
Talby
you know,
discovered the damaged laser though. Like he was
yeah.
cued. Oh, they all
But
died, I guess.
but that part where he gets like shot out to space, he's like, it's just
Oh man, yeah. Holy shit.
I will say, I do, like even on the cruise ships, like there's something spooky about like, because we work through the night and going out onto one of the open decks and just like looking into the ether. You know what I mean? Like it's like a
Yeah,
little spooky.
I think it's very spooky. That was a chilling feeling even thinking about that for me. Even when I think about when I used to like go out with the guys and we would be surfing,
Mhm.
I could never do that again. I have completely lost my nerve to do that. There's no way.
Dude, did you see the video of the great white shark at Fox Point Beach?
No.
And
How big is it?
that's like one of the places that they take students all the time. Like everybody
When
in
was
Nova
that?
Scotia. It was this summer.
Oh
They they
no.
they took like like somebody just wanted to do like a quick dive, like a guy that had already trained and went out there and yeah, like it must have been 12 feet. Like wasn't a small shark.
Wow. That sucks.
Do you know how many night dives I've done at Fox Point Beach?
I have done that too. Yeah, Will was there with he had his scuba things and we just free dove with flashlights.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was amazing though. I loved it. I think Aram was there too, actually.
Yeah, no, dude, they did some stuff. Shout out to like Will and Aram. It's probably on YouTube, but they did a thing where they caught a lobster and then put a GoPro on it and then just let it like run around. So you just see like the claws out in front of the lobster and it's like running around on the bottom.
That's funny. That's hilarious. Uh, yeah, it's cool. Lobsters with cameras, man. And
Dude,
that's
if they would have
why
just used a lobster for the alien instead of the beach ball, like it might have worked better.
I feel like Dark Star is a movie locked in time, and I wouldn't change a thing about it. I think it's like I've always seen stills from that, and it looks that's like a movie that would make me want to make movies, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. I
Dude,
know that it's shitty.
something I really liked, but also makes no sense is like I really liked the the small, I don't know if I guess it was their bridge where like the three of them are sitting, but like two of them are sitting one way and the other one's sitting the other way. And I was like, that's a really clever way of staging people so you can shoot one angle and still see everything that's going on. And I
Yeah,
kind of love the idea of like, it's a spaceship, so it should be, you would think it would be kind of like compact. Like you think of the early NASA missions and even like the current missions through the Suez capsule. Have you ever seen those guys packed inside that thing when they're launching?
yeah. It's like nightmare fuel.
So
No,
like
thank
I
you.
loved that they did that, but then it's funny because there's all these other scenes where like they're like Buddy's literally lounging back and doing like with the doing the light therapy
Oh my
and
God,
like
I love that.
the giant elevator. Like I'm like okay, like it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I think that the characters from that movie and the whole story and the ship are so like in my mind now forever. I'll never be able to think about all the other movies now the same. I don't know why, but there's something about Dark Star that just kind of stuck with me, especially after the audiobook. It was really good. It was very
Yeah,
cool.
I've got some credits. I should get the audiobook because I'd be into that.
Even John Carpenter, like the first Halloween movie is so good. The fact that this is his student film with the guy who wrote Alien and directed Return of the Living Dead, that's fucking crazy. And he's acting in it? Like, what? How is that even possible?
It would be wild to do like a film festival where you just found like all these like you get George Lucas's student film, like John Carpenter's student film, like get all those dudes that were like all the student films, but treated them like they were new releases and
Yeah,
gave them rewards.
I wonder. I wonder what it would be like. Um, did you what was your favorite part about the movie? Like if what was the one thing that you would like left from this thinking that was kind of cool?
I actually liked when they were doing the diary part. And it was
Oh
like you
yeah.
were seeing all the entries and like he was like, growing more facial hair and stuff. Like I really, unless I made that get that wrong in my brain, but I thought that was a really interesting, like it had big moon feels.
Yeah, yes, Moon is totally, another movie that's so connected to this. I don't know, I can't remember, but in the movie, because I did the movie and then the audiobook, so I just assumed that this all happened in the movie. It's all blurred. Um, Pinback kind of is talking about how he's stolen someone's identity, right? Am I crazy? He's not really
Mm.
Pinback.
Oh, geez, I don't remember that much.
In like these diary tape things. Do you remember when he's telling a story and the other two guys are eating and they're like, he talked about this
Yes.
4 years ago. The other guy's like, no, that was 40 years ago. The story that Pinback is actually telling is about how he remembers this funny thing where he saved an astronaut's life who fell into a gas reservoir at the launch pad, and he tried to rescue him by putting his spacesuit on because the guy ran naked across the launch pad because he lost his mind about leaving. Anyhow, he threw this on, and they were like, "What are you doing? Get in the ship." And he's like, okay." And then he's on the mission, part of the team. He was just a launch pad guy, and his video diary is him like coming to terms and forgetting because he goes so insane that he stole Pinback's identity, and he believes he is Pinback now. It's fucked. Then he watches the videos backwards to when he's like clean cut. He's like,
Yeah,
"Damn,
yeah.
am I even supposed to be here? Like, I just rescued this guy, and like all of his shirts say Pinback. I can get the tags off." And then
That's so
he
wild.
forgets who he is. It's really fucking crazy.
I just don't understand the time dilation thing because, like, they do this in Ender's Game in the second book. Because, like, if you're traveling at the speed of light, like, time's normal for you, but it's
Yeah.
moving faster for everybody else. So, like, I get that they feel like they've only been gone for 3 years, but they've been gone for decades, according to, like they should feel like they have not been out there for decades.
They should feel it because I see what you're saying. I think that in in my opinion, what they like from what I got from it, I had to throw on the subtitles a couple times, honestly, because I couldn't really hear a lot of the dialogue in the movie.
Dude, if I had to complain about one thing, it would be the fucking audio on that
I
movie.
know. I haven't seen a single copy where it's any better than that. Like it's awful.
Well,
That's why I had subtitles
I
on.
didn't even watch your copy. I streamed it on Amazon Prime.
Oh, you rent it? It's like the same. Like it's
No,
crazy.
I just got it for free for on Prime.
Oh, I didn't know it was on there. That's cool. Shit. I'd like to see the student film version of how little is in it. It's only
Yeah.
45 minutes, right?
Well, they said none of the special effects were in it. So I don't know if that includes were those actual miniatures with the ship?
Some of them were, yeah. Yeah. The
Like
people who did Dark Star worked on Star Wars in 77. It's crazy.
all that stuff was cool. Like I was into that, and like when it dropped the bomb, although it was like pretty hilarious, like how much the bomb, and I kind of appreciated how much the bomb just looked like a tractor trailer.
I love that the bombs have personalities because it's almost like they looked into the future and they could see how big AI was going to be. Like I could totally see a regular Tim Hortons Walmart regular person, every person, having a conversation with a computer and arguing with it about a life or death situation in the future. Like it's gonna happen, like a daily occurrence, you know? And Darkstar did that. And Pinback's the only one who's kind of nice to the bombs, and he's like, "How are you doing, bomb?" It's ridiculous.
Well, it's funny because they do like at the end they're like trying to logic with it. Oh, what is the term?
Oh, somethingology.
Yeah, and he's like trying to like logic with the bomb.
Yeah,
Uh, and I was like, this has like big like Hitchhiker's vibes, but also for some reason, I think it's just sorry, just the way they talk and scream into things. That I was like, this reminds me of MASH. Like just the way he's yelling. I'm trying to talk to it. Like, what do you think you're doing? Can you
I
be
know.
sure about that?
I love how that's Powell's like big idea too. Like that's his last contribution after he talks about baseball.
But then
Man, that
like,
sounds scary. Fuck.
but then like, I don't know, like maybe the boldest decision they made was like, wasn't it? I'm not terribly religious, but wasn't it like quoting the Bible right before it exploded?
Yeah, let there be
Like,
light.
dude, maybe the
Yeah,
boldest decision those dudes do. And like, I'm here for it. Like, that was like, I
that's
was like, all
after it
right.
has its existential meltdown too with Pinback, who's also
Yeah.
having an existential meltdown over thinking that he's Pinback. Like it's fucked. It's a crazy movie. Like that's the thing. I think because I've listened to this stuff a couple times, it gets so much better the more you hear it because it almost feels like there's bigger things that happen in the movie. It's weird, man. I don't know.
Dude, if there was
Uh,
ever a movie that deserved like like a remake, it's got to be this thing.
I don't know. Maybe it's a product of its time.
But I don't know how you do like how you reconcile with like the three parts of it all. You know what I mean? Like you almost have to pick a part and go with it.
I don't know. The only part I don't really like is the bottle piano scene. It's really weird. Where he's like, "Boop, boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop." It's weird,
And it's
isn't it?
like, dude, I know it's weird. And I was watching, I was like, I know exactly what he's doing, but that was one of those things that went on for way too long.
Yeah. When I sent you guys the link, I was like, I wonder who's gonna get through this. So when you were the only one who saw it, I was like, okay, this makes sense because I talked with Cody about Jurassic Park the novel for like 14 hours on the internet. So we like to get into these things, it's fascinating. Which
Dude,
is
like it's
why we're
good.
gonna do The Lost World later.
Yeah. Where are you at this point in the Lost World?
I'm only the first chapter in. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's a lot of science theory. I mean, I know they did that in the first book, but so far I'm like, holy shit, this is
No,
like
no,
really getting into it.
it picks up like there's a whole setup to get to where like to the island, to the setting. We all know they're going to an island. There's a whole setup to get to the island. There's like some crazy stuff that happens on the way to the island, but
Hmm.
especially like once they get to the island, it really does turn into more of a like there's a little bit of science, but it's like holy shit, like things are out of hand already.
I'm excited. I was actually stoked when I turned it on because I have the ebook, the real book, and the audiobook. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I've started it on all three of these things and I keep forgetting. And then I finally bought the audiobook. And I was like, okay, now I'm listening to it. Like it's really happening. It's weird because you think about how there's a Lost World novel sequel for so long that for me it's where I've never ever heard it. I'm like, oh, it's more Jurassic Park. Like this is really cool.
Well, I think it's the thing that the first book became a movie because the first book was really popular. But then the second book existed because there was a first book and a movie. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Dude, I've started reading his book, although I need to pick it back up. I was reading it on the cruise ship. His book Prey
Oh, really? How is that?
is good, man. It's like like essentially this company makes nanites. They're like
Man,
self-replicating and they get out.
Jesus. That sounds
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah, like at one point like so like this dude is a tech guy, but he had a whole falling out with his company, and his wife works for the nanite company.
Nanite. Such a bizarre word.
You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
little, what else would they be?
so like nano ice.
Nanobots.
Nanite.
They're little
Nan.
nanobots.
Yeah.
But like at one point, she brings like nanobots home by accident, and like they infect her baby.
Oh,
So like
Jesus.
he has no idea what's going on. So he takes like his baby to the hospital, and
Oh,
nobody knows
God.
what's happening. And they put the baby in an MRI, and then just like it just stops. Like it like kills all the nanites.
That
And
sounds.
then, dude, like the book is actually really good. You should check it. You really dig it.
I do want to listen to more books. I thought it would be not as hard to jump back and forth between media. I thought it would keep my attention more and like really grab me. But sometimes when I'll switch from like a video game to a movie to a comic book to like a script we're reading, and then we'll listen to a thing about music, and I'm like, whoa, Jesus, that's a lot of different like it's fun, but I don't know if it makes any sense.
Mhm. No, it makes total sense. I think isn't this the first episode that you and I have talked since season 2, right?
Uh, yeah, I mean, we're only like 4 episodes into the second season, I think.
Yeah,
We
man.
just started. It's crazy.
So what do
Yeah.
we have coming up? The Jurassic, The Lost World.
Yes. The Lost World. Buckle up. Get your Lost World on.
We'll need to get into the movie. I keep trying to talk Sully into doing either Tremors or an Ender's Game series.
Tremors? The space ones?
Well, I don't know that they're from space.
I don't think
Nobody's ever
anybody.
insinuated that the Tremors are from space.
Okay.
But
That's
yeah,
true.
the Graboids.
Yes, the Graboids.
Dude, when I was a kid, like that movie was like my favorite movie. I used to call it
It's
the
an
Snake
awful
movie.
movie. Dude, the scene where it goes through the wall in the basement and they unload all the guns. That's when I saw that as a child, I knew that was gonna be fucking awesome the rest of the movie. And it was. It's Reba, the country.
Dude,
What?
Reba and
You
Kevin
guys
Bacon.
family ties? I know.
And
Crazy.
the little girl is Lex.
The little girl. Is it?
Yeah,
I
like
can't
like
remember
there's
the
like
little girl.
there's like a little girl. There's actually a great shot of she's like on a pogo stick in the town, and they realize like the
Oh,
graboid's coming, and so like she's pogoing, and they run out and grab her, and the pogo stick just stays straight up, and then gets sucked into the ground.
that was
And
her?
anyways, yeah, that little girl is Lex.
That's so random. Shit. Yeah. She's like a painter now, isn't she?
I mean, I would if I had to. Like, I'm sure she gets some good residuals. Because she was also in like she had a cameo in the Lost World movie. I think she had a line of dialogue.
Yeah. Yeah, she did. When they were on the stairwell, right? And he's like, "This suit costs more than your education."
That's such a good impression of him, actually.
I always
Listen,
remember thinking that was a good brand. I was like, Jesus, that's kind of much.
if I, honestly, if I was a director and like I worked with like you do a movie like Jurassic Park with a bunch of kids, and I had an opportunity to throw them like a big financial bone by having them come in and do a line of dialogue in the sequel. Like you would be a garbage person not to do that. You know what I mean? Like poor
Yeah,
kids, man. Like if like I like we talk a lot about working on set and stuff like that, but like the life work balance on set's terrible, especially for kids. So
yeah,
totally chuck them a bone.
yeah. They seem good. The kid Tim, he was in the Queen movie, right? He was like one of the musicians.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, he like it's one of his first big roles in forever. He looks completely different. You'd never know it was him. It's weird.
There's a oh fuck, what's his name? There's the kid in Star Trek too that Will Wheaton. Everybody hates on Will Wheaton. But he was like a
Well,
child actor in The Next Generation.
yeah. He's funny on The Big Bang Theory, isn't he? Like he always seemed funny. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he had to hustle. Like I think he's like a lot of those childhood actors, so he ended up doing like a lot of like fan events and like secondary Star Trek stuff. But he has become kind of his own cultural icon lately. So
Yeah. It's good. Good for him. Will.
Will Wheaton.
Oh God. You know what though? That's the thing. Like I don't want to watch Darkstar again for a long time after this because I'm Darkstarred out, you know? Whereas I'll watch Alien again like tomorrow. Like the movie's amazing. I won't watch it, but I'll throw it on while I'm doing something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Jurassic Park for me in university. Like I kid you not when I say like I watched Jurassic Park like more than 100 times because it was just because another thing, like a thing that's lost in this generation is
Like
now you throw YouTube on and it just goes.
yeah, I know.
Before, like you put a DVD in and then you're too lazy to get up and change the DVD. So you just around we go again. I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
saying that's a
true.
bad thing, but like was
It's like
my experience
inevitable.
with Jurassic Park.
I know. That's cool though. I mean, it's a great movie to watch over and over again. Like it's one of the best. I don't think any movie has CG as like you wouldn't want to change it, you know?
Starship
Like
Troopers for sure.
I have only seen that in the theater and on VHS, I think, at home. I can't
Dude, I'm
remember.
telling you, like even like I'll send you some YouTube clips, but like the CG in that movie just holds up relentlessly.
Wow.
Like
You
it's
know,
and like the what's that?
it reminds me of that other movie, Pitch Black, where they have like the aliens on that planet. You know, I don't know why, because they're arachnid looking, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, the crazy thing about Starship Troopers is they did like thousands of arachnid aliens attacking. And like this was before like the software, I think it's called Mass, like the software they used in Lord of the Rings to make all like the orc armies and stuff like that. Like Starship Troopers would have predated all of that. So I
Yeah.
can't imagine what it would have been to layer all of those in. Cause like we talk about, I know like reading Starship Troopers was a shade traumatic for you, but like the movie is such more of
Was it
a.
true?
I feel like you were a little horrified. You were at least horrified at how pro Starship Troopers John and I were.
No, I think that the book itself is a product of its times. And
Mhm.
I think that it's a great science fiction novel. But personally, like, do I agree with like some of their things? No, I definitely don't.
Mm.
But
But
that's
like the
not
movie is definitely
dramatic.
like a satire on like this is
Yeah, the
crazy.
movie, that's why the movie works so good, I think, is
Mm.
because it's a satire. And I think, I don't know, although I was disappointed there was no power suits after reading the book. You know, those sound really cool.
Dude, I read his another book by him called The Cat That Walks Through Walls, and I was like, this is like wild. Like I can't believe this is considered a classic. Like
Is it
I
not
was.
good?
It's just weirdly like we talked about in the Starship Troopers episode, like the way he talks about women in the books, like is like him as like a weird, like sex starved sailor and being like, women are like the most majestic thing ever. Like I was looking
Oh,
for a nice little romp through space, and it's gone to fucking places that I'm like not enjoying this anymore.
that's how I felt about the book Starship Troopers. That's the main reason I didn't like it, is because I thought it would be like the movie more. Like I had no idea it was that different, you know? Like they're totally different. Like one almost doesn't even relate to the other for real.
Mm-mm.
They're so different. Um, but I like those old science fiction things. Like when I was reading The Time Traveler, that book is so scary. Like that's a children's novel, and in my opinion, it's the scariest book I've ever read. Like it's
That's
very
cool.
creepy. Yeah, and so when I read Starship Troopers, I know it's really popular and the movie was cool. So I didn't know what to expect, I guess. I didn't know that it would be so I mean, I know that it's a military movie, but I just didn't know it would be so much training in the, you know what I mean? Like, what am I trying to get at? I thought there would be more space adventures, you know, like, and less. And that's the thing. Like, I do like it, so I'm not. It's not. I can't criticize it. It's a classic, you know. It's um,
Well, it's like
but
some of the, like the really I can't say relatable because like obviously I've never been to war, but like some of there's war movies where like they're fighting all the time, like borderline, like Saving Private Ryan or maybe Black Hawk Down. And then there's war movies like Jarhead and shows like The Pacific, where
mhm,
like sometimes the sitting around and is worse. Like the store, the material in between the shootouts is the real story, and
yeah,
like that can almost be more disturbing.
true. People would be pretty fucked up, I would imagine.
Like, like it's easy to like, oh, that person's being shot at, so of course they're gonna shoot back. But
Yeah,
when nobody's being shot at, like, how do you stomach? You know what I mean? Like, what's
yeah.
actually happening?
Jesus, man, Saving Private Ryan is so good.
Oh, that's one of the like that movie will be an all time classic.
Yeah, yeah, it's so good. Every single time I see clips of it on TV when my parents are watching it, I'm like, this movie's fucking awesome.
You know they had to create a 1-800 number for Saving Private Ryan
No, what do you
because
mean?
so many World War II vets saw it and it was so realistic, were triggered by it. They had to create a 1-800 number for people to call, and because they were
Jesus.
like that's the early days of like, I think they were probably still calling it shell shock back then. But like, no, like people weren't treating post traumatic stress syndrome as like a common, like a thing that needed to be treated, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's crazy to think about, isn't it? I
But it'd be
remember I
like,
wrote you what?
you what? I don't want to hear this.
I had to do a project in grade 8 on my grandfather, and he fought in World War II, and it was so weird because when he told me what happened, I suddenly realized why he never talked ever, and all he would do is watch World War II stuff on television and just sit there in front of it. I don't even really remember him doing anything else. Like he was obsessed with it, right? Then when he told me all the stories over there, I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. And then they got us to watch Schindler's List right after that. I was like, because you're taught about all these things happening and you're like, this isn't good. Like, what? It was only that long ago? Like, that's crazy. That wasn't that
Yeah.
long ago.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Yeah, it's such a weird, like, like different generational thing. Like our generations like lived through a bunch of different traumas, but like
Hmm.
one of the crazy things, and like I've lived this in a less traumatic form, but like my great grandfather would talk about being like in Italy and running into people from the same small town he was from, like people he knew, which is like the
Really?
craziest thing to me.
That is crazy. It's
I
just
think there's
crazy.
this like a thing about uh like people that have lived similar influences end up in the same places.
Yes. Because that's true, right? I mean, as far as I know.
Dude, I've run into some weird people in some weird places, so I have to
We
believe
met
that
on an
that's true.
island, and now we do a podcast together.
Dude, I ran into a guy that, in the middle of the Caribbean on a cruise ship that had been in my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
So,
crazy.
I there's something I romanticize about like the idea of like that expanding to space. Like, even through interstellar travel, like we're gonna run into people from our hometown on some planet.
That's why, I don't know. That's why I think the movie is cool because it's literally just burnouts in space. Like, that's gonna happen. We're already living it right now, you know? We work on movies and rent movie equipment and have a podcast and have a YouTube channel, and we're like, yeah, man, space is crazy. Like, the fact that we can do this is insane. It's so
But
easy to do now.
but I'm gonna trip you out right now. Do you worry about normalizing going to space? Like right now, it's like an adventure and like we're really into it.
I
But
don't
like
know.
if it becomes normal, then what's the next adventure?
Traveling out there. Isn't
Just
that what they
going
say, right? It's just like
going
us
deeper
going
and
to,
deeper.
yeah, we're just going to the next ocean, and this is going to be a big ass ocean to travel.
It's just so weird because you think about it, like we're like there's gotta be people that are traveling distances that they're never gonna see the finish line.
Yeah, and it'll just be routine. People will be like, "Oh, my friend Larry went to space. Won't see him again ever," because you'll know,
And
because everybody will.
but you're like, okay, like you're gonna go to space, but you're not gonna make it to the destination, but Bennett's kid is gonna make it to the destination.
I know it's weird.
And then like we run into things like how do you deal with like generationally, like, you're the grandson of somebody that decided to go into space. And
Yeah,
now you're like slugging it out on some kind of spacecraft that's probably falling apart. Like, talk
yeah.
about grandpa and daddy issues. You know what I mean? Like,
It's crazy that they have their living quarters inside of the food storage cabinet.
they didn't think the ship, like, also the glass dome on the top. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, in a movie where they're dropping bombs that destroy planets, I feel like they get away with pretty much saying whatever they want, right? That's kind of the beauty of it. I don't know. Shit.
it was, that was like an interesting part that I actually really appreciated in, um, like Alien Earth is the guy that plays the cyborg, like there's that dynamic where he left, like he's been gone for a long time, but he left a daughter behind. And we never really reconcile what happened with that daughter. But I appreciate that part of his character, that he's kind of ruthless now because he had to, suffer that loss.
Apparently they didn't have that written until they were shooting like the 3rd episode. Isn't that crazy?
Dude, drives me nuts about writers. Like that it took you to the 3rd episode to figure that out. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, even Ripley has a daughter that she never sees because she's supposed to be home for her birthday, right? But it's like you went to space. Like how long were you gone for? Because in Alien they go to another star. So isn't it? Yeah, it's not like some distant planet in our solar system.
But they never reconcile. Like they never talk about that in the first Alien, like how long they've actually been away.
No. Well, if it's cryosleep, I assume it's a while, right? Is that crazy?
I don't know. It depends on how we rectify cryosleep. You know what I mean? Like, is cryosleep a really easy thing? If it's a really easy thing, then it makes sense to do it just to cut down on, if you can be in cryosleep half the time, then that's half the provisions you need, right?
I think they travel at like a light speed, right? In Alien? I assume they do. They have to, right?
I don't know. That's the thing, is I don't think they've ever really addressed it, have they?
No, I don't think so. Like, if you think of it, Ripley's working at the space station at the start of Aliens as a power loader person, and then suddenly they're like, we need to take you to LV-426. And they go there and unfreeze. I don't know.
But they never talk about like hyperdrives or anything, do they?
I don't think so. The only time you see it is in like Prometheus. Remember they're traveling at light speed? I assume it's light speed. No, maybe it's not light speed. It has to be light speed. Right?
Oh God, bump my mic. Let me Google it.
How do they travel in Alien Covenant? They have a sail, right? And they go through the asteroids or no, there's an EMP that hits it or something. No, there's a supernova or some bullshit. And
I put in FTL travel, and the third thing that came up was FTL travel Alien.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Can't trust Reddit. Don't trust Reddit.
It might be in the book. Let me look.
Being placed in stasis for long periods of time, presumably because space travel is a slow, arduous process. But this is also for him. There is faster than light travel in the Alien franchise. It is demonstrated by the relatively short time, 3 weeks, it takes to it takes for the Marines to arrive at LV-426, Zeta 2 Reticuli system, second moon of Zeta 2 Reticuli. But where were they? I don't know where they were they coming from Earth?
They did come from Earth, yes.
So it was 33 light years, and it took them 3 weeks. So
Jesus,
that's what, 11 light years a week?
Honestly, that makes me like my spine, like everything tingles when I hear that stuff, because as well as I do, is that this will happen, like that kind of space travel, or we will be doing that eventually. That's what you were asking.
The only thing about it, though, is I don't think those kind of accelerations, I don't know that if the human body can handle that kind of acceleration. Like, I think we'll reach something at least close to faster than light travel, but I think it'll be like a ramp up of like I think we think about it as big engines pushing a lot of energy. I think it's actually going to be small engines pushing little bits of energy for over long durations. Does that make sense?
I think that they're traveling almost the speed of light, and that's how long it's taking them.
But like, I don't like I get that, but like, I think that when we talk about faster, like achieving faster than light travel, I think the idea of going from like essentially standing still to faster than light, I think we would just turn to goo.
Oh yeah. That's why in Dark Star when they had the force field that popped up on them, I was like, that's a smart idea. And some of the space stuff in Dark Star was pretty incredible for 1970. Like the idea, I thought it was cool.
But like in we should do Project Hail Mary. In Project Hail Mary, like that ship, I think travels faster than light. But
Yeah,
they
I'm
have
sure
like hundreds of like little engines that all are pushing like small amounts of power, and so it's about accelerating. Like it takes them like weeks to accelerate to faster than light travel, and then like weeks to decelerate.
Yeah, it makes sense.
They do things on that ship too, where like because it's a science vessel, so they have like a ring. I think it's a ring, or like the center of the ship, and then the living quarters are actually on like a cable. So when they want to do science, they release the cable. So like the lab, like the living quarters and the lab and everything move away from the center of the ship, and then it spins. So they can generate an artificial gravity so they can do science.
Dude, it's crazy that we're not testing artificial gravity stuff yet. Like it's so weird.
Well, dude, we could barely get into space. Like,
I know. It's so hard that I think people don't really realize, you know? It's really, really hard.
when's
You
the
can't
Artemis
just
mission
go to
happening?
space. Apparently it's in February.
What?
Yeah, it's finally happening.
Like with the Canadian?
Yeah. It's the farthest that humans will have traveled from the Earth's surface.
Wow.
That's fucking cool. Like, it's funny today, my dad and I were talking, and he was like, "Oh, I wouldn't go to the States right now. It's scary." And I was like, "You know what? If I could go see the Artemis 2 liftoff with the real astronauts going around the moon, I would definitely go and see that take off because that's going to be like historic, like return to space travel, going around the moon and back with people. That's fucking crazy.
Well, what would you need to go in February?
Like we'd have to fly there.
Would we?
Yeah, right? I wonder if we
We
could
could
see it this
drive.
close. Yeah, that's
No,
true.
man.
That would be crazy, eh? My
I wonder
gosh,
if it's
Sigourney Weaver testing the flamethrower. Isn't that insane?
dude. We
That's
did a
really good.
flamethrower on Hobo with a Shotgun, and it was terrifying.
I heard about that. That does sound cool.
um, how do we? Hey, if there's any listeners in Florida, specifically, is it Cape Canaveral launch?
Yeah.
If there's any listeners in Florida that got a couple couches for ding dongs like us,
Yeah.
let us know. But dude, it's Florida. Like we can go down there and camp.
Dude, the pad. It's gonna be crazy. I can't even believe that this is gonna happen for real. It's been so long. It's crazy. It's
But
so historic.
do you have enough time off that you could could you just take a trip to in February?
No, because here's the major bummer and the actual buzzkill for everyone about launches is that it could be scrubbed. Like there's a 90% chance that's gonna happen. Like
But dude,
if it launches, it would be a pretty chance.
if there's a 10% chance that you get to see it. And like I'm not gonna tug at your heartstrings here, but Bennett's getting to the age where he will remember shit like that.
That would be crazy you know what? Because I think it will be delayed until the summertime or later that year, and he would be old enough to go to space camp, which I really want to take him to. Alien is so good. I love it. I can't wait to talk about the comic book. We should do an Alien episode.
Well, I told you I read that Alien versus like the Marvel Universe comic, eh?
I think you told me that. I have a copy of it here.
It's
No,
good,
that's
man.
the
Like it was surprisingly good.
I feel like I have too much stuff. Like I just need to stop buying things. It's
No,
so
never.
ridiculous.
Is there a Dark Star comic?
I don't know. I haven't looked into it. actually.
That feels like easy fodder for a comic.
I don't know. There was a dispute, right? Because I heard that the directors had a falling out over Dark Star. Like they had never talked since.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Dan O'Bannon and John Carpenter like disputed about who actually directed it. And John Carpenter said he never wanted to work with him ever again.
That's
And
wild.
yeah, and Dan O'Bannon was like, please let me use the credits from this because I need to get a job. He's like, I'll say you did the editing and yada yada yada. You acted in it, but I don't know. It's weird.
It's tough because there's a Marvel character named Dark Star.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what
Fictional
goddamn ridiculous.
Lania Petrovna.
But if I had worked on Dark Star, like that would have been a fun movie to work on, like an indie movie.
Dude, can I tell you
Um,
the part of like Alien Earth? I was like, what the fuck? Was like when she starts talking to the alien. I
oh
was
my
like,
God, don't remind me. As soon as that happened, I was like, I'm out of this show. I don't care what's happening on it. Like, I'm done.
and it's just like the cheesiest of, like, I guess it makes sense because she's a robot, so it's just like a speaker, but she's just like, and then it's like complicated in xenomorph language.
Yeah.
And she has more coordination with that xenomorph than the xenomorphs have in the other alien movies.
You know what I liked about that though is the gray-haired alien or synthetic guy. What was his name again? Kirsch? He
Yeah.
was cool. I thought he was like the best character on the show, to be honest.
Dude, that actor is one of like the most underrated actors. Like every time I see him in something, he's fantastic. You know what
He's
he's
great.
really great in is Dreamcatcher. You ever watch that movie?
A long time ago.
He's like the dude that like finds stuff by like he like does like an ET thing and then like and there's a whole spot like a part where like a lady loses her keys and he's like, "Hey, do you mind if I like just help you out here real quick?" And then he does his like thing and finds her keys like in a puddle, but she's all freaked out and takes off. And he's just like, I just wanted to take her out for some clams. Like the movies.
But
I
no.
probably watched Dreamcatcher when I was two. Like there's a whole genre of movies, like in my brain genres, that is Cody lost the remote and couldn't change the movie network channel. And that was one of the movies I watched.
That's hilarious. Hey, that's a great way to watch movies.
It's true story what happened. Like back in the days when like there were like 5 movie networks. That
TMN.
Dreamcatcher movie was wild. Like it had Morgan Freeman in it.
Yes, it's true. He had like weird eyebrows or something going
He
on.
always has weird eyebrows.
No, they were especially weird. Like they look like owls or something. It was terrifying.
Timothy Olyphant.
Yes, that's his name. He's in The Mandalorian. He's awesome in it.
I bet.
Yeah.
Did I tell you? I guess I haven't been on the podcast since when I get to Halifax. My 10-year IA pin was waiting for me.
You mentioned that on the last episode. I think we talked to you.
I'm old. I'm not old. I started when I was young. Like this year. Like my birthday's in November, and I'll just turn old enough to not be a part of the Young Workers Committee. So if you had to pick, there's 3 types of movies in Dark Star. Not to like bring it back, but
Not to bring it back to the subject at hand.
There's like the occupational drama that is just dropping bombs on planets. Yeah. Then there's like the monster movie side of it, which is brief but interesting.
Yeah, it's like the whole middle of it, isn't it?
But then there's like the psychological drama that is like, who is this guy? Which, again, not to harp on East Coast films, but like they did that in The Lighthouse too. Because Robert Pattinson's character, nobody knows who he is because he like assumed a guy's identity.
Yeah, that's true. That movie's awesome. I think that's the best movie we've ever done.
Or is it like whatever the end of it turned into, like the weird British sci-fi comedy?
I don't know. It's such a weird movie, man. It's uncomfortably strange at points. Calby's a weird character because he's so like changed by the cosmos. So strange.
Well, you can totally pull. So like the first part of the movie is the moon, right? Like, okay, we're dropping bomb, blah blah blah. You know,
They got
the occupational
jumpsuits on,
trauma.
they're in space. Yeah.
The
Time
the the
dilation.
the monster movie definitely, like, you know, sure, Alien is the easy, like, low hanging fruit, but even the Thing, you know what I mean? Like, even though the Thing's a terrestrial thing, like, it's very, you know, monster-ish. Um, and then, you know, you get into the psychological drama again too, which is like, again, the moon. But I think we'll find there's something similar in um Project Hail Mary from reading the book.
Hmm.
There's a little bit of that too, or like we just talked about, like the lighthouse. But then, like, I don't know, even know what the last part of the movie is, like some kind of weird, like red dwarf, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, Red Dwarf is so good.
it's funny when the guy jumped on the piece of the ship to ride it into the atmosphere. I was like, "This are these the origins of the Silver Surfer?"
Yeah. It's weird to me that something exists like this that's that old because it seems like something they would still do now. Like they would try to do that, you know?
But you know, have a look at it. I mean, look at Dark Star, hugely low budget, and
Oh yeah. It's like thousands of
arguably,
dollars.
like, I'm not gonna call it the most influential thing, but it's hugely influential.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think the original student film was $1,000, right?
Yeah, it's like something ridiculously like low.
But I mean, like $1,000 in, like, what year did they make it? 1980 something.
They started it in 1970, I believe. And then they
That
released the movie in like 74, I think.
It's so wild to me that it predates Hitchhikers because it reminds me so much of Hitchhikers.
That's the thing. I think that you're right though. Like so much work has been influenced it that I didn't really realize. Dark Star is kind of like one of the first of that, hippies in space kind of shit that people like, you know. We should do Silent Runnings. Have you ever seen that movie?
No, it sounds ridiculously close to Cool Runnings.
It's this guy who just hangs out with these robots that tend a spaceship garden. It was also made in the 70s, I believe, around Star Wars. It's like a
That's kind of cool.
really awesome sci-fi. I've never seen the whole thing. Um,
As a point of reference, $1,000 in 1975 is $6,000 today, which still by no means is a lot of money to make a movie, but
no.
it's definitely more money than $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy that they made that movie.
I guess the other thing though we have to think about that though is like they were making a movie on film.
They were making a one-of-a-kind movie. Like there were no student films like that. Where have you ever even seen a new student film that's like started a new movie? I haven't. Maybe the guy who did Neil Blomkamp, because
Yes.
his short films were pretty like popular. I remember they looked
I
awesome.
don't I don't think that's totally true. I mean, like, look at Hobo. Like, Hobo spun off into something amazing.
Yeah. Is that the same thing as the Dark Star thing we were talking about? Or?
I don't know if it's a student film, but they did the whole, like, because
Um,
they did the trailer first, right?
yeah, that was for the contest, right?
But like the contest was only to get your trailer onto a show. Like, I don't think they got any money or anything.
No, I think didn't they help him make the movie? I think that was part of the contest, right?
No,
Or was it?
I don't think the feature length was part of anything. I think they were just like, if you make a
Really?
cool trailer, we'll put you at the beginning of a movie.
Oh
I could be
wow.
wrong. We should just
Interesting.
have Jason on and ask him.
Yeah, yeah, Henry should be on with him someday.
Dude, that would be a wild. Like, I think Jason would be into that actually.
Yeah. How about the shotgun? We should do that, do an episode. I'd love to do a Treevenge episode. I love Treevenge.
Dude, I think if you did a hobo episode, it would have to be at least 2 episodes. Because you have to do an episode of like hobo with a shotgun objectively. And then you have to do like And here are the ding dongs that worked on Hobo with a Shotgun, and like, because like the set stories are a whole episode alone.
I think that we'll have to do the Lost World series. We'll have to start doing those episodes. I feel like there's a lot to digest in that series.
Yeah, I was like partway through another listen of the audiobook when you said like you were getting into it, but I should just jump back to the beginning and find like a smooth transition.
Hmm.
I wonder if it's like there's a point like when they're getting to the boats, probably. Like there's a part where they're like, I think they're in Costa Rica and they're like, we're going to the island right now. That might be a natural spot
Yeah.
to you know what I mean, start an episode, because there is a lot of science and meat and potatoes about like what they're looking at.
Yeah. It's all cool though. Like the KT boundary stuff is neat at the beginning. I love that kind of stuff. It's so cool. Very interesting.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of like the island doesn't make sense, and there's a lot of them explaining why the island doesn't make sense. Like that's where most of the science is.
Mm.
If that makes sense. Not to get real for a second, but I feel like I've said like less this episode, but it's probably not true.
You know, I was thinking about that the other day. That's just the way we talk.
I don't know, it's East Coast. I don't know. I would say it's East Coast, but it's obviously not. But
This American came to my work and said, he's like, your accent sounds like a Canadian surfer. And I was like, a Canadian surfer? I don't know what that means. Like, what the hell does that mean? Canadian surfer. Hmm. Thank you. Sounds like Michelangelo of Nova Scotia. I'm
people
like,
tell me all the time that like I don't have an accent. I'm like, okay, and then I say something weird and they jump on me. But
I think you sound like you're from Nova Scotia. I can tell.
I definitely don't sound like I'm from rural like Liverpool. You know, I was listening to somebody from my hometown posted like drawing like a raffle, and like I noticed their accent a lot more. Obviously, you never think you have an accent, but
Yeah.
it seems to be a thing that people trained out of me at a young age.
We should do a spaced series. Yeah, that show is awesome.
Yeah, like not the show about space, but the space with Simon Pegg and the TV show.
Yeah, like the actual
Yeah,
TV series. Spaced.
you have it on
We should do
DVD.
it. Yeah, I have this special edition. It's awesome.
I think I
Got like,
watched it on Netflix.
dude, there's so much stuff. It's like a perfect season, 2 seasons.
I don't think I even knew there was 2 seasons, to be honest.
Yeah, Space is a really good series. I love this.
They I've worked with Simon Pegg, but not very closely.
No,
I
that's
kind of
cool.
did dailies on a show. It says Netflix. Yeah, no, I remember watching the first season of that show and being really into it, actually.
It's a really good show. It's really good. Actually, there's a quote from Quentin Tarantino on the cover. You would hate it.
What?
Yeah. It says the one, the only space except no substitute.
Listen, Quentin, I'm not gonna argue that Quentin makes good movies. He's just a little too weird for me.
Yeah, he is weird, man. He's very weird. I don't think he's human.
Like I can't deal with the feet stuff. Like his weird feet thing, can't deal with it.
Yep.
Like, good for him, but I just no.
Feet.
I can't deal with it.
You know what? I still love Death Proof. That movie's wicked. I don't know why. I just love Death Proof.
And like,
So
I
cool.
think like the Kill Bill movies are good.
Mhm.
What was the last Tarantino? I don't know. He just does weird shit, man. It freaks me out.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was great.
You know what's weird is do you remember the TV show Alias?
Yeah.
He was like in it as like a reoccurring character. I don't know if he directed some of those episodes or not.
Alias, was that the girl with the red hair? Jennifer
Well,
Garner, right?
yeah, Jennifer Garner, but she had like a different hair color like every episode. It was like what she did. I feel like she did it like immediately after Elektra failed. I feel like I'm just screaming at Matt. Give me
Oh
more
no.
episodes of work.
See, it's funny because I always have this discussion with Justin at work because he likes long TV shows that can draw out things and explain things deeper. And I still really like, movies, like do it in 2 hours. You know what I mean? A little more, a little or less, unless you're Star Wars or something, or Lord of the Rings. But like,
Well,
I'm just used to that, I guess.
we'll get to see.
Sure.
But dude, look how much they were able to do in like the Clone Wars.
One of my earbuds just died.
Boom, 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 boom.
Little Joe is right behind it.
Matt, can you hear me? Does that mean we
Yes.
should wrap it up? But we're gonna have some things to look at because Strange New Worlds did 12 season episodes, and apparently their next season is only 6 episodes, like their last season.
Crazy.
So we'll see if they can pull that off.
Man, that your phone is gonna die any second now.
Okay, Matt, do the outro. Go.
What? I never did the outro. What do I say? What do I say, Cody?
Okay, I'll do the outro. You did the intro. My name's Cody. This is Matt. We're just a couple of ding dongs. You know where to find us. We're on Spotify, YouTube. We have the socials, Facebook, X. I don't know what else. Instagram. We have Instagram.
Apple.
Apple Podcasts. You just lost your headphone. If you look for us, you'll find us, and we put out good content, goodish content. We put out content. Thank you. Goodbye.